Greetings, you people, hello, my king. How's it going? How has it been this Briarstone? And do indeed welcome you to Sunday morning heroes. Everybody is about to begin. We have with us once again, Quill18.
Hey, folks.
And we have Demonac.
Greetings.
And Abella in the background, apparently whining. And a kiss for luck.
Good morning.
All right. Oh, let's get some FaceTime. Without further ado, in 3, and 2, and 1, and faces. Faces everywhere. Everybody's face is good? Everybody's face? Well, mine's not good, but whatever.
I have no face today.
Fantastic. So,
You gotta have faith for faith for faith.
Yes.
Face. Baby.
Right. So, I was going to quickly mention about what happened last time. Hey, Bells. In regards to the end of the mystery. You solved the mystery, and the mystery was indeed put into a conundrum with a certain handyman dwarf. Right. That is what
A
happened.
conundrum?
Yeah. Well,
What's the conundrum?
the conundrum was I don't know. What's the conundrum? A conundrum is a thing that happens that you didn't want to happen, I guess. Is that a conundrum?
It's more like being stuck, like having to make a difficult choice or something like that.
Well, that works too then. Because the conundrum was for the dwarf.
The choice is he's guilty, right?
Yes. Yeah, the choices that he has made has led him into being a guilty party for this whole thing. And you did it quite successfully. In terms of overall being quiet, keeping it hush-hush, the best that the widow would want to do, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. Also, the interesting thing is I don't think anybody was killed. Hey, no, 1 second. Let me just...
I don't believe so. One
mean-
guy passed out. He just
Yeah, there's one guy who's gonna be eating soup crooked for the rest of his life, but
Oh yeah, come in and whine with me. This is good. What do you want?
She's trading places. All right. Very good. I'm getting myself some new batteries. These are now dead.
Oh.
organization.
yeah.
So 1 moment while I figure out my headphones.
Yeah. So we finished up last week. We caught the we found the real keys, which were
Perfect.
hidden up in the attic, and we basically got the handyman to pretty much try and run away once we found them. Like he knew he was in trouble. His footprints were the only ones up here, pretty much. He had admitted to being up here. There was no sign of anyone else. So.
Well, he never really thought that it was going to be a problem with his footprints because, he's the handyman. If anybody asks, why are you here? He's like, well, I did this, I did that, fix this,
Yeah.
It's all about his alibi for being anywhere was to, he had an alibi for everything. He had a reason to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was annoyed that he'd been using that shadow magic or whatever in the bar area, which should have been setting off alarms and stuff like that. And I'm annoyed that at the time I didn't think to when we were talking with Jalaska to just cast some harmless but obvious spell and see if the alarm would go off or not. Because if the alarm didn't go off, that would have bolstered the argument that someone had turned it off.
Right.
Wondering if that's what he did, but we should question him and find out if he just turned off the alarm or if he had some crazy hacks that allowed him to.
Yeah. Well, you basically have him in custody. There's nothing he can do. I mean, he is he's a pretty adept fighter for his his citizenship, if you want to call it. He's a civilian of sorts, but he's not just a civilian. But he is surrounded right now. He is indeed outmatched, and he knows it. He's not going to try to run. He'll just get shot down. He realizes. But he doesn't. He keeps his lips tight right now because I don't know. He's doing the whole plead the fifth or something. I don't know. Maybe he wants a lawyer. Who knows? But he is not opening his mouth. So if you ask him questions, he's not saying anything. Now I did actually sort of expose some things out of order in the ending of the last video when I had said that he was upset about this, that, the other thing. You guys already know this knowledge, but in character right now you don't really know because he hasn't really said why he did what he did.
I mean, we may be able to take that approach because we've read the books and because we know that he's never gotten a pay raise and the people above him keep getting a bigger slice. We could go and sort of ask him That. Who wants to be good cop?
Good cop, bad cop, and ugly cop. Who's gonna be ugly cop?
Hush. Bella, we'll stick the
Oh,
dog
Eric
on
will be
him.
the ugly cop.
Stick the dog on him. Oh, God.
I mean,
Hush.
isn't our work here done?
Well, technically,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stay here and partake of some respite, if you will. Wait for an Alaska to get back. You don't know when Alaska is going to return. He could return tomorrow. He could return in a week. So you can stay here until that time. There is plenty to do in terms of rumors to find out certain rumors, which of course will be plot hooks. So you know that. And there's also the horses, if you guys wanted to buy a horse. And I want to you guys would probably already know this anyway, but because we discussed it this morning off camera about the griffins. I had mentioned griffins earlier, about being able to go and get griffins if you wanted to ride them. Apparently the only way you can do that is if you go and pay 600 gold for an egg. Right? You have to take the egg, you have to hatch the egg, and then it only bonds to you, and you're the only person who can ride it for the rest of its life. Right, so that is the deal with that. So it's expensive, first of all. Second of all, it takes time. You'll have to, obviously, hatch the egg. You have to take care of it.
What do they cost? The eggs?
600 gold.
It's an expensive omelet.
It's a very expensive omelet. If it goes wrong, you can just scramble it. But yeah, so that's what it will take. But it's kind of
Okay,
cool.
so not this morning, but maybe for future reference.
Mhm.
I have a griffin in Ark, though, so it's okay.
There you go.
Oh, God.
So yeah. One other point of interest would be for Lasan. Lasan, you did know that your brother, because he came and played the night before.
I know.
He came in
know.
and played. You don't know if he's still in the town. You can go and try to find him. Or at least
Maybe he's playing for more than one night. I mean, it's hard to imagine that a troop would come out to a location like this, several days travel, just for a one evening show.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're
So-
probably here like all week. Try the veal.
Yeah, so he could definitely still be here in the town. So if you start asking around for that sort of thing, you might find out.
Do we want horses?
I think we would definitely want horses, but we don't actually have to leave right away. We might want to stay until Nalaska comes back so we can get properly paid and rewarded. We can keep an eye out just to make sure that this is all that's going on. Like, I think we'll take a more relaxed approach to the investigation, but still keep our eyes open.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Eric and Alexi can spend a little bit of time bonding, without us being roving the countryside.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
just like immediately running off and like smashing things or
Yeah,
like
because
walking
we're
down
going to get
the street,
separated and
like,
things. Yeah.
stay in the room.
Yeah.
We'll-
Yeah, so for Alexi too, when you guys do decide to go in whichever direction do you go, are you going to bring Alexi, or are you going to tell Alexi to go back home to Waterdeep or something? That's the other thing.
It would be good to get him home to Waterdeep. He could hang out with our sister in the shop there.
Mhm.
But, I would still love to know what was going on in that time. He doesn't seem to remember much of.
Yeah, he also seemed a
Between-
little confused about certain things.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Find out some of that. So,
Something else to keep in mind is Loudmouth.
yeah, we don't know what happened with him. The that guy who claimed to have lost his memory that we found in.
Oh, yeah. We haven't seen him since?
Nope.
Yeah, that's pretty suspect.
Mhm. So, you guys, I mean, the thing is suspect in what terms exactly is interesting. He could obviously have been part of the Zentarum, and maybe he has a mission that he needed to fulfill, and maybe he has now done that. You returned him here, he's nice, safe and sound, but the problem is he doesn't have his memory, or at least you think, I'm pretty sure, you're pretty aware that he doesn't have his memory. So what is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
There's that sort of angle.
Heading
There's that,
home?
and yeah, we probably should check the handyman's room and everything like that. I mean, maybe he was stashing most things up here, but we'll have to check his room and everything too. And we really do want to find out what he took from Nalasker's room. That's probably another thing that we do actually have to.
Mhm.
I
know.
think it was a red herring, but we obviously need to check.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't open the door for nothing.
Open the door, so it seemed like someone was trying to get in there, which meant we were we would look there and not the attic. I mean, if he just opened the door and it didn't do anything with it, there wouldn't be any evidence, right?
Right.
That's true.
We have to check. We can't assume that.
Well, I will go ahead and give you guys a total. There is a total of gold in the chest that you found in the attic, right? So you guys can do money or math later. The amount of gold that is there is 500 gold.
Okay.
Okay, there's an even quantity of 500 gold pieces. And,
right. But I mean, that's not for us.
No. You're trying to figure out where it come from. So once you start looking around and figuring that out, yeah, that's
okay.
That's
so
the
we're
total.
back to doing books.
No, we might be back to like beating someone with a sack full of copper coins.
Oh, okay.
Discussion.
Like I actually say that out loud. Like you say, are we going back to books? And I say that.
Okay.
By the way, I'll be the bad cop in this particular.
Well,
scenario.
we knew that.
I mean, the widow has a reputation to maintain.
That's right.
Doesn't mean
She
she'd actually do
probably
it.
has a reputation here too. This guy probably knows of her or about her. So.
Yep. We just
Everyone would have
generosity.
happened in the attic, though.
Okay, so we just that with the guy still here. We've got the dwarf here in front of us.
Yeah, we got guards.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I have got the most blinding headache. I am barely functioning this morning. I'm having a hard time even following your whole sentences here.
No.
Anyway, so I mean, we can ask him. You know, the gold that's here, was this stolen from the vault? Well, we know it was. We know. You know, we've kind of caught you red-handed here. Is there anything you want to tell us to make things easier for you? And you know, it kind of
established that there was nothing missing from the vault. Like all the books there seemed fine.
Pretty tight.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so,
I mean, you guys did mention earlier about taking the tack of maybe appealing to what he probably was thinking when he did all this, in terms of like everybody else gets a raise, they get money, but he doesn't get any money. You can take that tack if you want. See if you can open him up.
You should be sympathetic towards him.
Yes.
You'll be the bone cop.
The who?
Bone cop. There's a movie here. It's Bad Cop, Bone Cop. There's a murder that happens on the border of Ontario and Quebec, and so there's a cop from both sides that have to team up and do things.
Oh, that would be terrible.
They have a sequel as well. Yeah.
By the way.
Oh
Okay.
God.
So you'll be the bone cop. You
So
relate
we'll
to them. You'll
just-
be like, yeah, man, it sucks.
Yeah, we just say, you know, is there anything you wanted to talk to us about to make things easier for you? Kind of look over to Tao, you know, and kind of put my hand back, like, you know, just let him get the impression that, you know, we're probably going to have to hold her back because you know
fine,
what
and I'll
she's
storm
like,
out of the room.
you know.
But you better squeal or I'll be back.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. You know, looking over the books, we did see that. I don't know. You've had a hard time. I mean, okay, I get it, right? Look, my dog gets it.
Everybody gets it, apparently.
Everybody gets it here. Sometimes you just need a treat. You know, we get that, but.
Well, okay. Well, let's see. Give me a persuasion check. I think that's probably proper.
Oh, God. Yeah. I hope she's better than me today. Persuasion. That's a skill, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
And that okay. So what you get from him is you can see it in his face, whatever, where he's like he realizes what you're trying to do, and he's sort of, kind of, almost about to break. He almost thinks, but he seems to like reel it back in just in the off, because he's starting to realize that would implicate him. He could stand trial, or he can just, you know, start saying that he's basically guilty right now. So instead of fully just disclosing everything, he does say that yes, no, things in this place have been quite unfair for a long time. That's what he says.
You know,
So-
unfortunately, sometimes, you know, asking for a raise is maybe a better choice than taking it upon ourselves. We're kind of in a bad position here now, where we're going to have to do something about you.
Found keys in his chest. Only you've been up here. See footprints.
Else? No.
Everyone kind of knows what happened with these keys.
Oh, yeah, keys. Forgot keys.
I'm gonna get Bells. 1 second.
I think she's got to go outside, I'll be honest. Yeah, because she was crying at his door. She doesn't do that. I think I've distracted her with the cookies, but I think she's just got to go out. There she goes. Cute little puppy. Big noisy puppy.
Don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Right. So in terms of what was the last thing, Eric? You said something.
I have no idea.
Boy, now I even lost it now.
It's gonna be a great morning, folks.
I'm mentioning the key that he's the only one who's been up here.
Mm-hmm.
We found the keys. It's pretty clear who put the keys here.
Right. Yeah, because he's the only footprints. He looks at you and he says, "Wow, could have been set up." Once you look around even more.
Well, who
Right.
else has access to turn off the magic alarm? Down in bar area.
Was it actually turned off when you went to test?
We haven't actually tested it because that is something I was like, oh, we should have done that at the time. So now I am just acting as if we have tested it.
Right. Give me a deception check.
Deception? Okay.
Oh! All right.
Nice job.
All right. You can
This-
audit.
If I'm correct, this works really well. If I'm wrong and it wasn't turned off, it may not work so well.
Very good. All right. So what you get from him is
I was like, who else could turn off the alarm? Who else has access to that?
is that your question to him?
It was along those lines.
Okay. Right. So what he says is, I know how to turn off or get around at least the alarm. That's what he says. I know how to get around the alarms, but I'm not the only one. That's what he says. But anyway, the count of 500 gold. If you guys want to look into this further, one of the things, just roll a wisdom check. All three of you, just roll a wisdom check.
Okay.
Good roll.
Buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Do.
And we have one more, which is okay. Everybody's over 10. So you're quite sure that, given the current circumstances and everything, one of the things you might want to do is now go back and, since you have a culprit, or at least a suspect, a very good suspect, you can go back to Chalaska and maybe clear up some things and see what further happens there.
Isn't she with us?
Chalaska, no.
She sent a guard who talked to us, and then we sent that guard back with a message. But I don't think we actually met up.
No.
I think she's still in her room.
Yeah. She never
I
actually
thought
left the room.
we'd made up after realizing
We
something.
had made up, but it was done through a messenger. Like she didn't actually come out.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So,
Yeah, because she's in quarantine there with several guards on the people on her side to protect her, just in case things go even further south. But there is some amount of understanding that has come about.
yeah. So
Due
if we
to
could go down there
recent
and return the keys,
Yeah, there's that. That would
That
probably
would-
be a big help.
everything back up.
All right. So at this point, maybe the widow will storm back into the room
Mhm.
and say, all right, that's it. I've waited long enough. What you're going to do is you're going to show us everything that you've taken and everywhere where you've stashed goods.
And intimidation check.
Yeah. I'm actually not as good at this as I used to be in Tau 1.0.
Be fine.
kind of annoying.
Well, that's
16.
Yeah. No.
Enough?
I'm gonna say that he will. The problem is he has a good bonus to that. That's the problem.
Well, we can lock
storm
him
back
up.
in. You storm back in. You say, "Show us what else you have taken." But he hasn't really said that he has at this particular point, he hasn't really said that he has taken anything. Not to your characters. Again, I sort of like jumped the gun last stream, telling you guys, so you wouldn't actually know this stuff that he is indeed guilty.
No, I don't know it. That's why I want him to show it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same as what I just did with the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to just request. He says, "I would like to. If you're going to accuse me of anything, then accuse me, and then lock me away until Nalasker gets back, because I'll talk to him."
So we just got to lock him up and
Yeah.
continue searching this place.
Yeah.
Starting with, well, I would say he's not going to take. I wouldn't think he would take evidence straight back to his own room and, display it nicely on the dresser for us. But
Right.
I mean, we'll have to search that and every other back out of the way freaking place in this great big freaking building.
Well,
It's a
in
big
the
building.
in the effort to sort of move the story along, where do you guys want to? What do you want to do first? You want to go talk to Chalaska, or do you want to go and check out the rooms, like the Nalasker's room, or do you want to check out the dwarves' room?
I would say lock him up, let Chalaska know what's going on,
Yeah.
and get her and the guards in on the search.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or get her at least in on the search, yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we made up, but I think we can get her fully back on our side. Give her the keys. We've got to get
Yeah.
suspect now.
I mean, the thing is, we can actually confirm that there was actually someone stealing shit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
like we weren't just causing trouble for her. There was a legitimate thing going on.
Yep.
Let us help you.
Yeah, so we can, let her be the front man for all the glory or whatever. I don't know. When it goes public, whatever.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So if that's the tack you guys are going to take, let's see, how do I do this and go there? Okay. You guys lock up the dwarf, make up with Chalaska, guards help with the search. And you find out pretty shortly that all things adding up come to really implicate the dwarf. Like, really implicating. The dwarf is pleading right now that there's somebody else trying to frame him, but then, he has no
course.
evidence to that. And he's requesting to wait until Nalasker gets back before he, talks anymore about certain things.
Well, wait until Nalaster comes back before we hang you.
Oof. Yeah.
Bad cop.
Bad cop.
Although honestly, what are the Zents going to do to him? Pretty much that.
Yeah, you don't really know what will happen.
Maybe they might hire him if he's that good at getting through all their magic stuff. He'd be one hell of an asset, I don't know.
There is a side to that, yeah.
Should ask him to come hanging with us,
What? Hang everybody together. We're gonna. Okay, you heard it from
No.
the son now. They're gonna hang together. Your brothers might be sad about that, but to each their own, I guess.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. Do you guys want to stay in town until Nalasker gets back? Do you want to be a part of that?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll stick around. We'll give Eric and Alexi a chance to bond. We'll keep an eye open to see if there's any evidence of anything else going on. But I mean, more
Carlin?
chill and low key. And Nalasker's probably got a reward for us. So
Plus, even without the reward idea, you want to wrap it up with him so that it doesn't get portrayed differently by someone else when he shows up.
Yeah.
Also,
Much better to be there when he arrives.
being in his ear directly instead of other people.
Yes.
Okay, well, fair enough. In the meantime, a few things that you guys can do. You can procure the horses. If you want to buy horses, you can do that. You have I'm pretty sure you have enough money to buy 3 horses, at the very least. Secondly, if there's any other types of purchasing of items that you want to go here, the markets change every other day, right? There's going to be new items there, so if I can roll on the table again to see if there's anything else that you want to buy. Usually, though, if it's going to be a magical item, of course, it's going to be pretty expensive. But at least you'll know who has it and who at least has it. And if you want to rob them on the way somewhere, so you could do that.
like fancy schmancy book,
Yeah, like fancy schmancy book
just per se.
per se. And there's
So we
also the angle that if you look for rumors, you can get some ideas, some gossip happening. Also, Lisanne, you can look for your brother if you can find him in the town still.
funny for the brother. Well, I don't know. We can go. I can go buy horses. Horses tack grain in saddlebags, whatever. And if I remember correctly, Eric doesn't ride very well. It's something really big and very quiet for him, right?
Yeah, I'm clumsy at it. I can stay on the horse. It's fine.
I remember something about you trying to throw yourself across the horse and your legs are stuck out, and we were trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, that's trick riding, right? That's trick riding.
I didn't do a lot of riding before my legs were paralyzed, and I did some when they were paralyzed, but that didn't exactly teach me how to ride.
He says I could put shoes on a horse.
It was just flop on there and don't fall off. Was
I had a blacksmith once. He couldn't ride either. He says, I put shoes on the horse. I have no reason to get on the horse.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah, makes total sense.
Put shoes on the horse, and I put shoes on my feet, so therefore I'm going to use my feet. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, understood.
Oh, God.
Although metal shoes are pretty heavy.
Yeah, they would be.
Oh, God.
Very good for getting rid of people, though. Unless,
So
of
it's
course,
three
you're in
horses?
this town, then you can just get rid of people by shoving them into the vault. Apparently.
Apparently.
Who knows? There's
What's
corpses
3
in
horses going to cost me?
there. 3 horses will cost you 300.
But no. The
Oh, sorry.
riding horses are 75 gold each.
Are they 75?
Yeah.
Also,
Craft
if
horses
you want
are 50, riding horses are 75.
Okay.
if Lasan, you are also from a farm and everything, so I'm going to give this option to you in terms of being able to find the best horse, and you're going to be able to you'll be able to haggle for the horse if you want to do some haggling. Do a we would call it persuasion check, I guess.
Okay. Check out their teeth and pick up their feet. I get this.
Take a look at them.
This one I know. Will the dice reflect this?
Yep,
Yeah,
that is
not
good
great.
enough. That is going to be less 10%. So let me just do that in my head. If it's 75 less 10%, it's 7 gold. 4, 5 gold.
Just round up to 70 gold.
No, I'm going to say 68 gold.
Okay.
You get 3
All right,
horses.
well-
You get 3 horses, 68 gold
Okay.
each.
I'll take 68 gold out of my thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we don't
I'm
need
just
you
gonna
to
start
pay for
buying.
all our horses.
Yeah.
Works out. All right, so now
We
you guys
all
can ride from point A to point B a lot quicker.
Like we don't have so much stuff that we need a 4th horse or anything like that. To haul things or anything. I don't think so.
Back up with Gira.
Oh, what about for your brother?
I think we could. Well, okay. We may need him to share a horse with somebody less heavy than me, but I'm sure he can share a horse while we have him.
There's caravans all the time. If you ever wanted to part ways here and leave your brother to go to Waterdeep, you could easily get him on a hired caravan, which would have guards and everything too. If you put some on your
Yeah, I'm gonna find out way more about that before messing around with that stuff because I don't know if he has any combat skills or something, if they were training him or whatever, or I frankly don't know that much about what he was doing when he was hanging out with my dad growing up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I really need to figure out, what was going on in that time between when he was taken and why he was taken, and then what's happening.
There's a bit of a issue. If you wanted to talk to him, just briefly, we'll say that. It feels like there's a gap, right? There's a gap in his memory, but that gap seems infinitely long. It seems like a really long time period, but there's a gap, and it's hard for him to explain what's going on in his head. But he feels like he's done several other things. But you say, and he knows quite inherently that he was frozen in stone. But he feels like he was doing other things. Even though he was frozen in stone, he feels like there was a life being lived somewhere in there. That's all he can pretty much explain to you. Yeah.
That's very odd.
It feels like it didn't just end for him, but he can't remember what it was. So when you guys rescued him, there's something in his head that he feels like was happening, but he doesn't recall what it is.
It's really messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Alexei, we need to get you back to the shop. You can stay with Clara and her friend and take care of you there. But I I think maybe you get the idea. It's not safe to stay with us. It's not safe to stay with me. You know, I tried to. I found you. I tried, to, but I'm starting to get worried. I don't know. Done some weird things, and you know how Father was. Well, maybe you didn't. Father was kind of different for you. I get these urges now. Break things. It's not good.
Right. All right. So yeah, he listens intently, and he's regarding what you're saying, and he understands what that means too, in terms of like if it's dangerous to be around you. There's going to be a point where you guys have to go your separate ways again.
Yeah, he understands that part of it. I don't know, but yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't know the rest of it. Yeah, he doesn't know all of what you're getting at because you're being kind of vague about certain things. Especially, obviously, I guess you don't want to talk about your patron.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. Although at this point now we've been sharing a room, so I'm sure he has actually seen the markings. So he could ask about them.
Okay, all right. Okay, so if you expose those, he will definitely ask about that. Obviously, because he cares for you. Like, so yeah. What happened? What is that?
There was. I got involved. There was some weird. It's hard to explain. It's some kind of unnatural thing that has been helping me. It's been making it easier, but I think, from here on out, it may get worse. When you were taken, when there was an attack and Father was killed in the shop, I was hurt. I got stabbed in the back, and my legs did not work for like at all. And all the healers, they couldn't do anything. They tried. So yada yada yada. 6 months later or so, I gave up on finding healers in that, and then this thing helped me out. It made a bit of a deal. I got these weird marks, and it makes legs work again. It's good that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of get the idea that when you say a bit of a deal, you see give me an insight check, just to see whether or not you get this.
Yeah.
And Tao and I are outside the door listening like this. That's why we're hearing this stuff.
Yeah. We're through that.
We're going to finally find out what the hell's going on with
Whoa!
Whoa!
Wow. All right. Well, that is interesting. All right. So yeah, you when you say a bit of a deal, you notice a sort of a glint in his eye, in your brother's eye, or whatever, and you kind of get the impression. No, actually, you don't kind of get the impression. You absolutely know. You feel it inside of you that he knows what you're talking about. Like exactly what you're talking about.
What's wrong with your family?
Lots of things, but
yeah.
So, what is it?
What is what?
I know it's kind of strange, but what do I have to do?
What do you mean? What? Sorry, there's a question.
I just ask him what is it? Just to because I know that he knows something. I'm just trying to prompt him, see if he wants to say anything about it.
Right. Okay. He will. I wasn't expecting a 20. I should always expect a 20. I don't know why I don't. How do I say this? What do you do? All right. He will.
20 automatically succeeds. It doesn't mean that I have to, it doesn't mean that it does more than I could normally do with a skill check, necessarily.
But it's a 20. I almost feel like it deserves extra stuff. It's like flawless.
Moment of perfect clarity.
Yeah.
Is what's going on here.
Brotherly bond, even though we didn't spend as much time together as we could have.
Right.
May not know him too well in other ways, but there's some part of what makes us the same that I just saw in that moment.
All right. All right. So what he'll say is, he seems to look. He's looking at you, but he's looking through you, and he says, "Should we tell him?"
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Right? Okay.
Oh, this gonna be good.
All right. So,
you have voice too?
Is that why something went in, like, why you got that opportunity in the
Did you-
first place?
Did you have voice before Shop was attacked, before you were taken away? Or is this something new since then? 'Cause I didn't have voice until I make deal and fix legs.
right. Shit. How do I do this? Because there's a certain amount of stuff I don't want to give away, but at the very same time, maybe I do want to give it away.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Well, our ears are firmly pressed
Right.
against
I
the
know.
Yeah.
I know. All right. Okay, no, so what happens? This is what happens. Instead of him speaking up and saying stuff, you hear the patron in your head right now. And
Okay.
the patron speaks to you and says,
Different patron.
no, it's the same patron.
Oh, because that would have been crazy.
Yeah, no, it's the same patron. Who says, my designs for your family's safety has always been my foremost concern, yeah. And
Is
yeah,
very reassuring.
yeah, that's what your patron says. Okay, that's how you respond. And
Yeah.
so Alexi, what Alexi does
Okay.
is, and you guys are okay. For clarification, right now, Tao and Lasan, you guys are not in the room.
Correct.
So we're listening outside the door.
Well, I mean,
apparently.
I think in practice it's probably not really
Not really.
reasonable for us
Okay.
to be listening, but
Right. Okay.
we
so-
want to be.
Yeah. All right. So
Great image, right?
right. I was just making sure that you.
Eric's gonna open the door and we're both gonna fall into the room.
Yeah. Just like the door just gives way or whatever. Rusty hinges because the handyman was doing other things. Wasn't paying attention to the door. Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. So, right before your eyes, Alexei disappears. He just he fades away.
So I can
And
do that too.
and
Does he just turn invisible? Because I see invisible, right?
No. Actually, he goes
Okay.
away in front of your sights, whatever, and you feel like you're hosting somebody else.
What?
But
He's possessed you?
what's going on?
You hear Alexi's voice inside
like-
your head. It says, I will
I'm
be.
inside you now. This
Yeah,
has become
I'm inside you now.
supernatural.
No. He says, I will help you make the weapon.
Is that Alexi's voice?
That is Alexi's voice.
But I don't understand. I just want to save you. What are you? Are you okay?
Totally okay.
Where are you?
One of the things that he does remember, he tells you, is that he does remember being very, very concerned about his family when he was taken off. And before that, there's that part that he does remember. So he does talk about that, and he does say to you that in his concern, he was approached by a patron, the same one that you have right now. In fact, you just make that connection. And there was a pact that he wanted to make with that patron to look over, protect his family. So it wasn't just in your effort alone that got this patron to you.
So that's why he showed up. Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's why the patron showed up in the first place. Because Alexei made the first deal to help make this weapon, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And that's Alexei's pact. That's his part of this whole thing. Interestingly enough, though, Alexei can pop in and out of corporeal form, which is not saying that he's dead. He is still the Alexei. He just has this power. This is his power
Okay.
that he can do.
Wow.
So
So I guess you're not going back to Waterdeep.
I will do whatever you want me to do. But when the time comes, I will need to be with you.
Do you know any more about it? Do you know about this thing this patron?
Yeah, you almost feel like it's a weird sort of sensation that you got going on right now. It almost feels like somebody's moving around, like not physically moving around, but like metaphysically moving around inside of you. Almost feels like you get this idea that there's a clipboard and a pencil or something. He's taking inventory. So of the things that
look around and that's so weird because he's gonna see how different my perception of our father is than his, because Bogdan for all of Alexei's life has been like always like he was kind of like the favorite child. He was always taking care of him and just like unconditionally loved him. And for Clara and Eric, it was different because I mean he was always like he wasn't like a terrible guy necessarily, but he was definitely more of the like physically punishing kind and short with us and stuff like that. And he like more physical with Eric, but he hit Clara a couple times too. But it's like he wouldn't tolerate when we messed up. It would always come back on us. If Alexei messed up somehow, it would always be okay because our mother died when Alexei was born, and basically Bogdan had made this choice that like he had to either just like decide to love this kid unconditionally, or he would just come to hate him because he's the reason that his wife was gone. He never connected with anyone the way he connected with our mother. Yeah, he definitely didn't connect with us that way. Yeah. So that was like kind of a conscious choice, but it meant that Alexei had a very different life. He was like, 7 years younger. I forget the time frame, but something like that, younger. So he was always like going around with Dad and going to see all these important people and stuff like that, and he was always glowing praise of him. So it was a very different perspective seeing if he's actually in there and poking around, and if he can see bits of that from like how Eric perceives the man.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it becomes a thing that he can do, maybe he will do. But currently, right now, he is not probing your memories. He's not probing. He's not doing that. He's taking inventory in terms of the things that you now possess. Things that So he knows, for instance, that you have this war pick, which I had named, but I forget the name of it now.
Iron Fang.
Iron Fang. He knows that you have that. He knows
I have the haft from the elemental thing.
Exactly, you have that. So that's what he's doing. He's just taking up inventory there, and he says to you, we are incomplete. But
okay, what do we need?
How does he do this now? All right, because he has a bit of knowledge that is beyond you. Because he also knows, because he heard stuff.
Yeah.
The question might be, why do you need this weapon?
It's an interesting thing.
Oh God!
I haven't dealt too much with the why part. Eric wasn't all that concerned with it. Actually, I wasn't expecting any of this at all. I was expecting that, like, now that we've got Alexei, Eric was gonna get much more. Like, that was his goal, and he did that. And now suddenly he was started to get much more curious about these crazy powers and like what this thing was about. So I was gonna start like trying to find sages or look into it or something, but this is taking a whole way different turn.
Yep. Well, he still doesn't know. He's very honest about not knowing what happened when he was frozen, and he doesn't know why he feels like he's had all this extra stuff happen to him while he was. It's this big blank, but it seems like such a huge time has passed. So he doesn't know any of that. He's true about
that.
If
he can do this not corporeal thing, then even while he was stoned, he could have actually been doing stuff, which is messed up.
Yeah, or maybe even against his will. Who knows that somebody else using him, manipulating. Who knows? But the interesting thing is that he does say that you don't have everything you need to make the weapon. So, if you want to leave him in Waterdeep, that is where he will go. But just come back and get him when you need him, because he will need to be there. And your patron also supplies that information as well. The pact is not just with you.
We will know when then. Is Clara involved in this?
Clara is not involved in this.
Okay, it's already too much. maybe. I guess you can take care of self if you take caravan back, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should go back and see Clara. It'd be good. It'd be good for you to be home.
Time.
Yeah, I think that's probably best thing then. I'm sure I'll find out when we need you.
Yes.
Okay.
When you need me, I'll be there, is what he says. And so then you see him appear right before you again, and yeah, that's that.
Wow.
I don't know if that's the perfect way of doing it, but that is that. Okay.
Okay, that is wow.
I love patron deities for that reason. I mean, they're just like, wow, what is going on? You can always like play around with that.
That's insanity. Okay. Oh, maybe what we'll do is we'll sort of hang out in town until because we were thinking Nalasker is going to be back in a week or something. I don't know if we actually had any reason to believe that.
Yeah, no, he didn't say exactly when he would be back. He just said that he would be back. And, maybe he's never late. Well,
He arrives always when he wants to.
yeah.
Precisely when he's supposed to.
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard. All right.
So maybe we'll plan to sort of like just hang out and try and I don't know, just catch up and not be as weird about this stuff for maybe like a week or so, and then he can catch a caravan around then.
Yeah, okay. And he's totally okay with this plan.
It gives us some time, and then.
In fact, he does tell you as well what he's going to do when he
Yeah.
gets back to Waterdeep is he's going to try to find somebody who can release those memories.
Yeah,
If
then that'd be
that's
good.
possible.
Yeah, I'm sure Clara and Samantha should. They'll be a nice place to stay. They did get tired of me, but you're probably less annoying.
He just chuckles at that. All right. So very good. That's that bit.
Okay.
And now we're going to probably look into Lasan. Lasan, you're moving around right now. I'm guessing trying to find your brother, or
Hi,
you're
my brother.
asking?
Yeah.
You're asking about your brother? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I figured if we've opened the inn again, have we opened the inn again? Is everything back to normal
Yeah, you guys have the
at
keys.
this point? Yeah.
You're using those keys, and they obviously, yay, it's a good idea.
Yes.
They work as they're supposed to function. So you can open up the gate again if you guys want to open up everything and let all the people back in. It's a little late now, and
Yeah.
people are quite irritated.
Yeah.
But
Shit happens.
yeah, and then that's just it. Like, there's a bunch of guards moving in and around, so they're probably going to get some idea that something big went down, but they don't know exactly what. So yeah, you open up. Everything starts to function as proper.
Okay.
People that moving back and
Yeah.
forth in between. There's taverns and such that you can check for rumors there.
Then if my brother was playing at the inn, then somebody here would have hired him. So I will just ask.
Okay. So yeah, you find out very quickly that, and it's not unknown knowledge, because it turns out he's a very flamboyant individual when he's around and working.
He's a bard.
Yeah, many
Head
people,
of the Greenwood.
yeah, many people know him. So, or at least they know him by face, and if he walks by, they notice. So you find out that he's staying at. I'll show you the building. He's staying at this building here. That's where he was staying. Is there? So as you're moving through and you ask around and people here and like here or whatever, you find out that he's staying over here in this building right here.
Okay.
Okay.
So I just asked at the bar, you've hired him, where do the musicians stay? And they say, well, I think he's up the road. So I wander up the road and I find out he's in that center building.
Yep.
And go knock on the door.
Okay, so you go inside and you
Whoa, what a beer.
you introduce yourself to the main innkeeper there, and you don't have to convince him. He notices some traits, some similarities there, so he knows that you're his sister, and he tells you what room he's in. So yeah, you can go knock on the door. Okay, so you do that, and he answers the door. He answers the door, and he says, "Oh, there you are. What happened the other night?"
Harwin, yeah, sorry, working. We're working. Yeah, how am I going to say this? I was with a friend of mine. Had a job here. I was just helping out. I mean, and he knows I've been taking caravan guard jobs and stuff for years. So, just just another job. I was about to say, Tao, the lady, my friend at the bakery, but we can't do that because she's the widow here. So we'll just drop that part and say, I just took a job, come down and help. Some losses going on. We're just finding out who did what.
Okay, very good. So he starts sizing you up and everything, and he's like, "You look tired."
Oh, that's just rude.
Me too. Yeah, well, it's been a busy few. I don't know, how long have we been on the road, guys? I know, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a rough time.
Has it only been a couple of weeks? Jeez.
Yeah, it hasn't been all that long. I mean, well, we went to the big farm up north. What was that called? The Delmon, the Delmon Ranch.
Ranch, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were up there for a while, and then yeah, it's only been what, maybe 3 weeks or something. We've been on the road. It's been a tough 3 weeks. There's a lot of things going on. I don't know, weird weather, elementals, orcs attacking ranches in the north. The world's gone insane.
I had received some rumors there that there was an orc attack up north.
Yeah.
Just outside of. He gives the name of the town. I can't remember the name of the town right now.
Okay.
Belliard. That's what it was. Belliard. And just outside of Belliard, apparently there was a massive orc invasion. That was kind of creepy because before I was heading this way, I had a gig that I was going to do up in that direction, but I decided to do this one first.
And and stay off the river. Stay off the river. We came down the river from that area, and a lot of empty camps. Disappeared
Any idea
people.
what's going on?
Missing people. We fought elementals along the way.
Elementals.
Water elementals, yeah. And
Water.
we just did a whole bunch of earth ones.
So the spirits are angry then. That's what
Something.
that's what I heard, and I'm just saying that again. That must be true.
Stay off the river.
All right.
Off the river. Stick to the main roads. I don't know if that'll be any safer, but it certainly can't be any worse. So.
Well, if you went up north
And what have
to
you been
Belliard,
hearing? Where have you been? Pardon?
I was going to say, if you've been up north to Belliard,
Yes.
did you
Came
have
right through there.
That's pretty close to our family's territory. Did you find anybody? Did you meet anyone of our family?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one. Give me a second. I have notes right somewhere. That was Govanen, right? The ranger we met up there?
No. Govanen was you met at the family farm, and he just went with you.
Okay. One of my brothers at Delman's, was it Delman's farm somewhere? One of my brothers has got the hand that's messed up.
That was Govanen.
That was Govanen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I can't remember who we met right now.
So what happened
Sorry,
was
guys.
you met with your father, actually. Your father.
Terrible.
Came
Oh
out
yes,
and
Dad.
Did the rescue
Dad.
thing.
Can you believe that?
Rescue.
Dad came out of the high. Is it highway? What's the high forest? Dad
Right.
came out of the high forest.
Things must have been like terrible for him to leave there.
It was kind of wild for a while. Govanen's got something wrong with his hands, turning to stone. I don't even know.
It's
I don't
funny
know.
that
The
you
world's
say that.
gone mad.
It's funny that you say
What?
that because are you wrapped? Do you have your arm wrapped up? Because you have that issue sort of like going on too.
Oh, that's right. I got something going on too, don't I? Oh, I had forgotten that.
Mm-hmm.
It was fuzzy this morning.
So you say that, you gestured or whatever.
Yeah,
He's looking at your arm. He's like, "Yeah, what
Have you
is
seen
that?"
anything like this in your travels? I don't know, and I can't heal it.
I forgot about that.
I don't know what that is. Although, have you seen a healer for it? I mean, I know that you're a healer. Sorry, I'm not trying
Bro.
to. I'm not trying to. But have you seen somebody? Have you gone back to the forest?
Maybe you need a specialist.
Do I need a
You need a
specialist?
referral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a no.
What did Father have to say about it?
A dermomancer.
He didn't.
Oh.
I don't remember anything prior. I don't.
Okay,
I
all right.
have
So,
no idea.
right, so when it comes
You
to
tell
your
me
father,
what Dad said
this
about it.
happened
I don't know.
after the fact.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Your
It was
father
later,
didn't see
right?
this. This is
Okay.
new. This is
Okay,
this is
so
new.
Dad didn't see this. I didn't have that then, so I don't know what's going on.
Wow, like is this some sort of disease? He kind of like he visibly backs up a bit, just a touch there. He kind of.
Well, I don't think it's contagious. No one else has got it.
Well,
but,
you
I mean,
have
with
it, and,
all the-
and Govanen has it, so.
Oh, that's right. Maybe it's a family trait. You lucky boy.
No.
I don't know.
Right, so he's visibly kind of like hands off right now.
You haven't seen anything like this in your travels?
No.
Keep an eye. If you do, can you send me messages? Can you
Sure.
send something to
I
me?
should probably send you messages more
Or
often
send it to
anyway.
the farm?
Because if you're
Yeah.
moving around a lot, I'm moving around a lot. Maybe we can meet up
Yes. Beer.
again. Yes, always.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. The world's got. I mean, orcs are coming out of the mountains and attacking things. I don't know. The world. It's been kind of wild. It's been a very, very. I'm not sure what season we're in, Briar, but whatever season it's been really crazy.
He agrees with you. There's been some crazy things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you
On the
seen?
road.
Like what?
Storms that either appear on the horizon. It look like they're coming our way, and they fade out before they ever get to me. Sunny days where a fire will start to just, appear. I have been down the road and a fire just went up. The whole forest went up in flames. We were going to camp, and then we had to move further on our camp. And we were afraid that it was just going to spread, and then it just stopped. Don't know exactly what's going on.
I don't know.
And
Yeah,
then
this whole...
Justin Trudeau swoops in. Yeah. All right. So, how else do I want to do this? The Bard. He's there. Well, he tells you that he's going to be in town for a few more days there. He's got a few more gigs in and around the area that he wants to do. He has money to make, right? So, he's going to be doing that. In fact, as you see him, he's like sort of suited up, buttoned up halfway. But as he's talking to you, he's buttoning up more or whatever, and he's getting himself together.
Okay.
It seems like he's about to go out again. And
You're about to play somewhere.
yeah, he's
Cool.
about to go back and try again. That's what he says. He's going back to try again. He says, "I don't know what happened the other night when I saw you in the inn, and the barge ride in. But things apparently got really dangerous there for a second. Everybody had to leave. It was very chaotic, and I still made my money, obviously, because I get paid ahead of time. But I feel kind of bad. But anyway, I'm going back tonight.
I'll go too. Buy you a drink between sets.
Awesome. He hopes to see you there, and you can continue further conversations and catching up and such like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Tao.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, Tao. Tao. How now, brown cow? I am thinking that... how do I do this? There's an interesting thing. Okay, between you and Chalaska, first off, things with you and Chalaska are very notably eased off. The pressure is really, really eased off. Being that, there is a suspect now, things tend to be sort of back in order. The guards that were split, some for you and then some for Chalaska, they're sort of intermingling again.
Right. The Civil War has come to an end.
Yeah,
The
without
keys
any
are back.
casualties. That was good.
Yeah.
In terms of if you obviously, I'm thinking you probably did at least continue some of the investigations there. You find out that 200 gold was stolen from the lockbox that was in the Lasker's room.
Okay.
So 200 gold was missing from there. And the reason that you know that is because there's an actual ledger place like a
He's
little
got his own set of books.
He's got his own books, yep. So that was in there. So 200 gold was missing from there, obviously stolen. And Chalaska, when she tells you that she was stolen from, there was 300 gold that was stolen from her. And this is why she knew that you guys couldn't have, or at least she suspected that you guys couldn't have been the culprit that was indeed insidious when she was with you the entire night when things went down, and then somebody stole from her. So it was kind of like telltale.
Oh,
that
couldn't
you
have
guys
been
were-
us because we were with her.
Yeah, exactly. Even
I
though
see.
you're having the argument, but you were still there with her. So
Yeah.
so that sort of makes amends in that degree. But that does equal the 500 gold that was indeed stolen, and the keys that you found in the lockbox as well, up in the attic. That all sort of signifies that the dwarf was indeed suspect in the whole thing.
And as far as you can tell, nothing else has gone missing. Like there's nothing else unaccounted for.
Well, I haven't left my room as of yet, but we can make inventory. We can make.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a good idea. Who knows? He might have an accomplice. There could be something else. It just before we leave, let's be thorough.
right.
Make sure this is nicely resolved and tied up in a bow. And make sure Nalasker is happy at the end of all this.
Very good. All right, so so you guys look around and you start, doing your general searching, your investigations and everything continue in and around the inn.
Yeah, I'm doing this while everyone else is interacting with their family, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. So that's fine. And you do not find anything else of importance. Nothing else left out of place. Ultimately, it seems like the dwarf was like the only person running the show when it comes to the number one guilty party, and maybe the only guilty party. That's all you tend to find there.
Don't forget to ask her about the magic alarm.
Oh yeah, you can ask her about that.
To confirm that it's still working. Also, yeah, it's a little weird that people can toggle it on and off.
Or however he was getting around it.
Mm.
That was my assumption. That might not be it.
Was he getting around it? Was he using any magic whatsoever?
Well, there was that shadow thing that like did the swab.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
There was some kind of magic involved there. We don't know what it was, but it was something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you learn from Chalaska real fast that the alarm does not get shut off. It's on. It doesn't go off. But now that you've mentioned that there is there was something that you had noted as magic.
Yeah, like can the dwarf even do that?
Yeah. So what she does is she goes around. She has a couple of hired guard that are casters, or at least they detect magic and such. So they have a couple of cantrips and everything. So she has them going in and around the inn, and she's having them cast spells, and it's an annoying thing.
Because the alarm keeps going off.
The alarm keeps going off, right? But then they shut it off, and it comes on, it goes off, and goes on, and goes off. But eventually, you find out that just almost right in the center of the inn proper, there was a gap. There's just a missing bit in the middle that if anybody stood there, if they knew to stand there, they could cast a magic spell, and then it would not go off. So it takes some amount of knowledge to do that, to know that that was even there. In which case, you did it a couple more times, and yes, it was indeed that way. It was just a spot. For some reason, there's a spot there that was okay, safe to cast in, and you don't know why. And as she tries to recalibrate, not her specifically, but the person responsible for the alarm system in the first place, tries to recalibrate it today. Tries to recalibrate it. And for whatever reason, it does not make it in that area. That area is, for whatever reason, completely unable to be protected by...
Okie dokie. This is in the middle of the inn, like the main room?
Yep. Right in the middle of the inn.
Middle of the bar.
Yeah, I'm tearing open the boards underneath there. Like, is there like an anti-magic stone or nail or something? Like, there's something going on here, and I want to know what it is because it's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So you start removing boards, aided by other people. In fact, so they start removing boards, and you look down underneath, and there's nothing there that you can see. There's nothing going on. Nothing different. You can see
On the floor above?
Could be. Let's check that.
Is it under a chandelier or something? Is it like...
yeah, roll a...
investigation?
Yeah. Investigation.
Yeah, that's it. We're trying to figure out what the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone's got knowledge or arcana, that might also like fit in. Like, what's the deal?
That is unfortunate.
We need. I was gonna say we need Eric's like.
I have a passive 16 and I roll a 10.
Supernatural vibe.
Bad day. She has a headache too. We're great.
Okay, by this time, I'm going to say that you guys did reconvene. I mean, you haven't been all day visiting and talking. So, right, by this time, you guys definitely have enough time to get back together. And I will say that Eric's roll did, in fact, give him some amounts of he's determined that it is one of the light fixtures up above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna steal that light bulb. Well, not light bulb, but
yeah. So yeah, you go in to investigate the actual chandelier, and there is it's like other sort of light fixtures. It has like shiny fixtures and stuff like that, like not quartz or whatever, but shiny bits. And they just kind of crystal, I guess you can call it. And this it's adorned. So yeah, so does this one, in fact. So you can start taking, I guess, it apart if you want.
Oh my goodness.
Or you can just
take
the
guess
whole
one of
thing
those
down.
little drops. It would only need to be one of those little things, right?
Maybe.
No.
Right, yeah. The crystal teardrop things.
Mm. Yep. So I mean, just for the sake of time, we can say that. Actually, give me an extra investigation check because this does require it.
Investigation or Arcana? Because some people.
Actually, no, wait, it is Arcana. Sorry. Well, it's kind of both. But you already did the investigation check, so I'm going to say that's good enough. Do the Arcana check.
Sun can keep her roll and just like
Look at our investigation checks this time. A 21 and a 25.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, now that I know what I'm looking for.
Yeah. And then
okay,
the Arcana.
21.
Totally good. All right, so yeah, no, you are quite sure, Lasan. It almost seems like, I'm just going to say, it's not at all, but just for the sake of flavor and awesomeness, I'm going to say that this looks almost elvish to you in make. Which is interesting. Do you remove it?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So as you go to grab,
So it's just one of the drops?
Here's what I wonder: is there any chance that? Well, I mean, I don't know. I was wondering if there's any chance that this is actually like.
Is it actually
something put in by like the Harpers or something like that? You know, like some other faction getting involved here. When I hear elf, I think more Harper, even though like they're probably mostly human.
Was Chalaska elf?
No, Chalaska's a human.
Okay.
What about Nalasker?
Nalasker was an elf, I think.
Yeah, he was elf or half elf or something.
Yeah, he was definitely elf, I think.
And you said this was like, was this literally at the dead center of the Barge Right Inn, or you just?
Yeah, it's not dead center, but it's in the middle-ish.
All right, it's not quite the same thing.
If
If it was literally dead center, then maybe this thing would be actually the source of the alarm, and it just happened to have like a void ray under it or something.
And maybe we should just leave it and tell Nalasker about it. I mean, maybe it's something he's put in. Maybe we should just tell him that there is a thing, we have discovered this, and, you know, if it's something you've put in place so you can stand there and cast the spell if you need to, you know, we don't really know. Maybe we should just leave it and tell him about it.
Yeah.
But,
okay, that's fair enough.
Have someone watch this spot. Maybe put a table there.
Yeah, so if anybody has to or wants to cast, they have to stand on top of a table. That's kind of suspicious.
Yeah,
So-
I like it.
They'll be a little more noticeable, unless they're up there dancing. You know, get everybody dancing on the table, and then you won't know which.
Well, we'll know exactly which one because we know where it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look, and there seems to be some sort of motions that you have to do to cast. So that's something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. So that bit of a mystery is sort of solved. That's okay. And yeah, so that's basically it now. You guys are just waiting for Nalasker, I guess, to come back. We can skip to another day if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
That's
Also
fine.
be looking around for like rumors and stuff like that. But I think we've had a full day this day.
Awesome. Okay, so this is the done day. And I will say that your brother comes back in and starts playing the music, and there is indeed a table.
I don't have any family to hang out with, so I'll mostly just be spending my time in the tavern, keeping an eye on the spot, any other activities, keeping an ear out for rumors. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is in the tavern, so we get to sit here and listen to my brother, have beer, and watch that spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what's
Okay.
happening now. So you can play some music in your head, everybody. Just got that music. Is it good? Is it good? Just kind of like sway to it and everything. We're about to take a break because yes, we need to take a break, and we'll be right back, and we will continue on the next day, which is this is the day that I get to be an asshole. So anyway, I'll be back. 1 second.
Right.
Right, the one day.
Just the one. Yeah.
If you want to find out what it's like when I'm the Dungeon Master, check out Tales from My D&D Campaign.